So today I'm talking about public speaking. Since we're all going to be taking a turn doing one of these talks, I thought I would deliver some of my experience for you, and maybe that will help you when your turn rolls around. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so here's about 8,000 words worth of information on my experience and expertise speaking in public. This is the slide that I use to tell people who I am. We won't spend much time here because you all know me. This is where I would normally throw in a joke like, yes, my name is Paul Mitchell. No, the shampoo is not named after me. Potbelly Sandwich Works is named after me. That's often funny to people who haven't heard it before, but of course, 8 years at Harmonic. But my, how the kids have grown, haven't they? So I've heard it claimed that in a national poll of Americans, people's greatest fear was reported to be speaking in public, and that came in ahead of death, which came in second. Which means at the average funeral, most people there would rather be the corpse than the person delivering the eulogy. So I'm here to tell you it's not that bad. I'm going to give you some pointers, a few things that you can bring to the table when it's your turn to be able to say, to be able to give a better public speech. The first thing to bring is confidence. You got to bring some confidence to the table. Now, it's normal to be nervous. Even I was nervous just getting ready for this, but you can't let that stop you. Here's the secret. Your audience wants you to succeed. In a group like this, I know you guys all know me. I know you guys want me to do a good job. You don't want to sit there with a boring, bad speech either. But almost any audience you speak to, even when I ran for office, my audiences wanted me to do a good job. Even if they disagreed with me and were voting for my opponent, they wanted to hear me present well. And they were ready for that. Your audience wants you to succeed, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be afraid of. You do need to bring some preparation to the table. You got to think about in advance what you're going to say. And it's very helpful to jot down a few notes about what you're going to say. That's going to help you keep your thoughts organized, and it helps you know when you're finished. So this allows you to avoid the, oh man, I forgot to bring up this important point that I wanted to bring up. And in fact, as we were preparing for this, I thought of something that I should have made a slide for, and maybe if we do a round 2 of this, I'll add it to that. It also helps you know when you're finished. Once when I was running for office, I wasn't prepared for a talk. I stood up and I started talking, and I talked and I talked and I talked because I didn't know when I was done. I didn't know how I was going to conclude it. And it's about, maybe 10 minutes into my ramble, I started thinking, I got to find some way to end this. And I couldn't think of a good way to end it, so I just kind of stopped. Nobody said a word to me afterwards. The audience wanted me to do a good job, but I was so embarrassed when I look back on it. And of course, having a few notes handy can literally save your life. I'm sure we've all heard the story of Teddy Roosevelt when he was running for president in 1916, showing up to give a speech in a park. He was going to step up on the gazebo and give a talk, but when he got out of his carriage or his car, whatever he was in, a guy walked up to him and shot him in the chest. It was a small caliber bullet, and he had a sheaf of paper, his manuscript for his speech. He was planning to speak for like 90 minutes. He had it all written down on his manuscript, and that sheaf of paper slowed the bullet enough that it didn't penetrate very far into his chest. It did penetrate into his chest. He still went up and addressed the audience, said something like, I'm not sure that you all know what just happened, but I've just been shot. So I won't be giving my entire speech, but I do want to make a few points. He made a few key points and then went to the hospital with a bullet in his chest. This is a legendary story. But having notes can literally save your life. Of course, you got to be authentic. If you're not going to be yourself, who else will? If you're not going to be you, nobody else is going to be you for you. So you got to bring your own authentic voice to the presentation. So a lot of people want to read the presentation word for word. They want to write the entire script and read it out word for word. Now that takes training and practice to do well. Most people sound mechanical when they're reading text. They go down to a monotone and they just start reading text when in the course of human events, and it's boring and it's dull and it's horrible and nobody likes it. So unless you're really, really rehearsing, just have your main points jotted down and relax and just talk. Now, if that is a thing you want to get good at, if you do want to get good at being able to read a text and sound good, practice by reading to your kids. It is the absolute best way. I read my kids the entire Wizard of Oz series, and then the entire Narnia series, and then the entire Harry Potter series, one child at a time. So I did this for each individual kid, one at a time. I'm really good at reading text, doing voices, because I've read all these over and over and over again, 4 and 5 times each. It matters how you look. It matters how you sound, too. That's the slide I forgot to put in. Next time we do this, I'll have a slide about modulating your voice. But it matters how you look. You want to dress appropriately for the occasion. How you dress signals your level of respect for your audience, your host, your venue, your sponsor, your topic. Now, this is advice for life as well as public speaking. But I found myself this morning thinking about this and going, all right, tie, vest, pajamas, what am I going to wear? All right.
One of each.
Well, I decided that the vest I just picked up from the dry cleaners yesterday. This is almost new shirt. These are new pants. I've never worn them before. And the pajamas I've been wearing all week. So I thought I'd give you guys a break. Your mannerisms can also help you focus your talk, help you emphasize the important points, or they can really distract your audience. They can really just, if you start wandering like off the camera angle, you can really start detracting from your presentation with your mannerisms, with the way you move. You've got to bring some passion to your topic. If you don't care about what you're saying, nobody else is going to care. Passion is contagious. It's a little bit like cookies. If I didn't bring cookies, nobody would have any cookies. I didn't bring cookies. None of us have cookies. If I didn't bring passion, if I didn't bring enthusiasm to this talk, nobody in this room would have any enthusiasm. Your audience will have the enthusiasm that you share with them. The best speakers can make their audience catch fire with enthusiasm. That's often not necessary, often not appropriate. But it's good to have some level of enthusiasm. It helps your audience stay awake. It helps them be engaged. It helps them remember what you're saying. I want to say a word about golf. I love playing golf. I'm not good at it. As a friend of mine used to say, I play at golf. When I go play golf and I hit that good shot, I get up on the tee and I hit one and it goes straight down the fairway just the way I mean, that's a novelty. Usually it'll turn off to the right or go off to the left. They say if it goes to the right, that's a slice. If it goes to the left, that's a hook. If it goes down the middle, that's a miracle. But I love to play golf, and every once in a while you hit that really good shot or you make that really good putt. And it makes me think, I could do this. I could be good at this. If only I could do this more consistently. Then I watched golf on TV, and you can see the best pros in the world making shots that remind you of your worst. I once saw Nick Furyk in the 17th hole in the final day of the Masters, and he was in second place on the leaderboard. He's at the 17th hole. He's got 1 or 2 strokes to make up, and he's in the bunker next to the green. Hits it out of the bunker, and it goes across the green into the bunker on the opposite side. And I hear him go, "No!" And I'm like, that's the shot I hit all the time. I could be like Nick Furyk. So, I play golf for the occasional good shot. I watch golf for the occasional bad shot. It's the same way when you're a speaker. You don't have to be the greatest speaker ever. You don't have to be, I don't know, name your favorite orator. In my mind, it's Alan Keyes. I've heard him speak in person a few times. But you don't have to be the greatest orator ever. You don't have to be Abraham Lincoln. But you're not going to be the worst speaker ever either. There's going to be somebody out there who's worse. And there are sometimes even professionals who will get up there like some movie star reading the winner at the Oscars. And the winner for Best Picture is, and they'll just do a monotone reading of it sometimes. They haven't prepared. They have no energy. I don't know, maybe they're off their meds. But sometimes the professionals will not present as well as you can. So keep that in mind. It's not important to always be the best. It's just important to bring a few preparatory things to the table. Now, people who present a whole lot will often have a standard concluding phrase or catch line or something. Here's a few of my favorites. I'm particularly fond of Paul Harvey's old "Paul Harvey, good day." And it always had that long pause in it. But I will just end with, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed it.